Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Some of the most controlling, narcissistic stuff.
Yes.
That's why I'm celebrating today.
Yeah.
Not much anything Martell does is surprising.
Hello everybody, what is up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's season 6, episode 24. Listen, they're not even close to the Houston trip, so I'm just like, damn, how long this season gonna be? 48 episodes? Like, we're in episode 24 and we're not really getting that much stuff. But let's start with this episode with Nell and Chris Fletcher. They were dancing at some sort of club. It was pretty cool. They were, moving, having a good time, moving to the beat. Then they go sit down and she asks how he's doing. He says he's had a few house listings and he's still trying to take Martell out of the house. So, speaking of Martell, Nell tells Chris what happened last episode. Martell got mad that Nell was going to Melody's name change party and that apparently, according to him, Melody cheated first. Martell sort of wanted to put her in a corner and make her choose a side, so choosing his side over Melody. And that's hard for friends, I can't imagine like when you get divorced and you have to pick who you are going to stay with. Nell doesn't like the way that he spoke to her, so Chris feels like he might need to check in with Martell for speaking to her like that. Nell just feels weird that Martell keeps saying that she should hold Melody accountable. She says that he needs to hold himself accountable for what he did. So she's team Melody. Although she does think it's a little bit weird to change her name after so long, she personally wouldn't have done it, but she's going to be there to support her. The next scene is Tiffany and Stormi meeting up at some store. Tiffany looks great, I'll give her that. They catch up because they haven't seen each other in a while since they barbecue. But here's the thing, remember when Keke threw that drink and all that mess? Tiffany wasn't there to see that, she got there after. So Stormi is telling her how it went down, and then Tiffany throws some sort of shade, a little jab at Keke. But Stormi wants to talk about that. She wishes that Tiffany and Keke can stop throwing shade at each other, but she says that Tiffany is the one who does it more. And then she references the Carlos King interview as an example. But Tiffany says, listen, all I say are things that I have witnessed. Like, that's what my perception of her has come from. Every time I'm with her, she's always mad. For her to throw a drink at her cousin is crazy, she says. But Stormi kept coming for Tiffany, and she thinks that Tiffany thinks she's better than Keke. And Tiffany says, no, I don't think I'm better than her. I've never said that. I just don't associate myself with her. But Stormi says that it was so hard for her to watch the interview with Carlos King because he was so shady. And I was just like, really, Stormi? You were hurt over that? Come on now. Stormi also came in as Keke's mouthpiece, saying that Keke was apologetic for doing that in Kimmi's house, that she was remorseful. Tiffany then asks, oh, so you talked to her recently. Did she tell you that she was receptive to talk to me, or are you just stirring the pot? Ooh, bam. Stormi got a little bit triggered by that, and then she continues to ask Tiffany if it's true that she was talking bad about her products because Keke had just told her that, and Tiffany denies it. So Stormi says that she just wants them to stop throwing shade at each other, but she kept emphasizing that Tiffany does it more. I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like, why does she want them to be best friends? I don't know, it's weird. But she is able to convince Tiffany that she can be sort of a mediator between them and try to fix things, so they're going to try and do that. I think that what the real problem is that Tiffany be telling stuff to Melody, then Melody tells it to Keke, and Keke tells it to Stormi. I feel like that's the order of how everything happens. Then we switch over to Melody's party, but oh my, I was laughing. They edited this as if it were a wedding. Like, I mean, everything just gave you the vibes of wedding. Like if it was her wedding day. I mean, all power to her, but she took this ceremony very seriously with a whole orchestra. She walked down the aisle and had everyone look at her, and then she goes up to the stage. There was some sort of preacher there to pray over her. And just like with wedding vows, she gives some vows about her and her last name. Then the mom, Vanessa, gives a speech. While Vanessa was talking, Melody was crying quite a bit. I mean, all jokes aside, as dramatic and extra as that ceremony was, it was sort of beautiful because of what it represented. So she is officially and legally named Melody Shari Rodgers. Melody then is greeting people, thanking them for coming, and then messy Miss Nell Fletcher pulls her aside and says, well, how are you? You know, she starts nice. Melody is so happy that she did this because it took a while for her to get to this point. And then after letting her talk, she then tells her, listen, I met with your ex-husband. He stopped by our house, he gave us some wine, he asked me about the name change, and he felt some type of way about finding out that I was attending. Melody says that he always makes everything about himself. She calls him controlling and narcissistic, and that is why she's celebrating today, because she no longer has to deal with that. But then Miss Nell tells her the things that he told her about Melody and about her not being accountable, like her cheating on him. But Melody just glazes over that and says that it's all lies and that she's excited for the future. Let's go eat. So she shut that down real quick. The celebration continues with more speakers. The decorations were great. I will say, I'm not surprised because we all know they're not friends and she doesn't really owe anything to them. But it's interesting that she did not invite not one single person from the comeback group or even Tiffany or Keke. That was interesting. Moving right along, Stormi meets with some Canvas Beauty CMO, someone who she's been working with for a long time in the company. So they're talking business. She is in her 5-year mark for her business, which is huge for a small business to grow and be so strong after 5 years. This man says that he is amazed on how well everything is because she was about to lose it all at one point. Apparently, it looks like when she was on bed rest a while ago, things went so wrong. Somebody's forged her signature. They stole so much money and she really was like in a very bad situation, but thankfully Canvas Beauty was able to overcome that struggle and she is okay. And like she started to cry because it was a lot. And I've been very critical of Stormi and how she sometimes acts a little bit ratchet or, you know, out of pocket, but in moments like these I totally respect her and she's an amazing person in business and she has a great head on her shoulders and I know that she's going to continue to do great things with that business. The last scene is the Fletchers. Okay, so they have 4 kids. When they met each other, each of them had 1. And then when they got together, they made 2 together. So it's 4 kids, but it's a big blended family because they even have this girl named Keke who is Miss Nell's niece, but she's kind of like her daughter. So they were all coming in. Her and Keke were having a little bit of a back and forth about her keeping a job. And looks like a lot of the kids feel more comfortable going to tell things to Chris rather than to Nell. So they all gather around the table to eat, and then Miss Nell was being a little bit dramatic, and the kids are calling her out for being dramatic. And Nell says that y'all would be dramatic too if y'all did every damn thing and then only go to your dad to tell him stuff. Also, one of her sons recently went to jail. That's not good. And when he went to jail, they had to get his dogs. They had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars like trying to like relocate things and like bonds and stuff like that. So Miss Nell was getting very heated, and then one of the kids starts saying something against her and Miss Nell screams, "Lexi, shut the hell up!" Oh my gosh, that was intense, but that was the end of the episode, and then next week we'll see how that ends. Apparently one of them is going to storm off. I will say it was pretty interesting seeing Miss Nell, Chris, and the kids, like that family. I don't want to like, you know, jump too much ahead of myself, but I think they're pretty entertaining. They maybe should be looking forward for a spin-off or something, or maybe just to stay on the show in a greater capacity, because it was very entertaining to see that. And I feel like there's a lot of stuff that they could show us with their families. But that was the end of the episode, you guys. What were your thoughts about Melody's ceremony? What were your thoughts about Tiffany and Stormi? Stormi's kind of she wants to make Tiffany and Keke be friends. And then last but not least, what did you think about Miss Nell Fletcher's family? Let me know in the comments, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.